Hello, amazing ladies. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Mireille Nicole here, relationship coach, and I am super obsessed with today's video topic because I am a huge romantic. So like if anyone ever tells me about a movie or a book, like my first question is always, is there a love story? So this training is touching exactly on that topic. We're going to go over one very effective way that you can bring back the spark in your relationship. And one of those really effective ways is going to be to recount your love story, to remember the early days of your relationship with your man, your husband, your fiance, your partner, whatever he may be, right? So I am really excited to share this information with you today. But first, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do so now and hit that notification bell. Did you know that your ability to remember your love story and how you recount the details of the beginning, the early days of your relationship with your man is actually a predictor of your relationship outcome? So whether or not you end up having your happily ever after with this person, for myself, when I think back of past relationships that haven't worked out, I can clearly see how the early days of that relationship was a measure of our success. Like if it took the guy forever to call me at the beginning of us dating, or if he asked me, there's one guy once he asked me on a date, but like 2 weeks out of when we first met, and it's not like he was out of town or had any fancy plans or anything. He had like no logical, credible reason for it or anything. And I think it was that same guy, actually. There was a red flag later on where we were in a situation and it didn't feel safe, and he did nothing to make me feel safe in that situation. Again, he didn't make any effort, right? And those are the details I remember from that relationship. And obviously I'm not with this person anymore. So just to give you a few examples, I'm sure you can think of some situations where you were dating someone and it just got off to a rocky start. Now, I'm not saying that if your relationship starts off with some challenges, that it's impossible to overcome this. I just know from the situations I shared with you, I just went cold. I could never turn it around after any of these situations, but that's not to say that it's impossible. Now, some of these relationships, quite frankly, I don't even remember the beginning, right? And that's another thing that might pop up, another indication. But like I said, I don't want you to think that I'm saying it has to be perfect from the get-go, or it's not possible to turn these things around if you got off to a rocky start for whatever reason it may be. There might be a really good reason for that, right? But as long as you can look back and have some sort of fond memory or pull the good out of those situations, if you can do that, if you can look back fondly, that's going to help keep a positive sentiment, just a good vibe in your relationship, a happy, positive, loving vibe going in your relationship, which is going to be super helpful to strengthen your bond and your emotional connection, right? So you can also, this is also something you can build, right? So if you don't have all these memories in the beginning of your relationship, you can always intentionally start making these moments now. And even if you did get off to a really, really good start in your relationship, you obviously want to make sure to still have these good moments accumulating on your journey together, right? There should be aspects you remember fondly, and you also want to keep building these positive memories. Those memories and those stories that you have that make you smile, that warm your heart, that just light you up. My current husband and I have tons of stories that I can and do go back to on a regular basis just to keep that spark going, that flame alive inside, right? So like stories of when we were in line for coffee back in the early days when we had just pretty much kind of met and we said hi to each other and he spilled his change everywhere and he was like, "You make me nervous." And I thought that was the most romantic thing ever. Or when we had just moved in together in the beginning, we used to always go to this coffee shop, and every time we see this coffee shop now, we mention it, right? Remember when we used to go there on Sunday afternoons with our laptops and we used to just hang out? So it's looking, and again, this brings a smile to our faces. So it's remembering these moments. And even if you just start doing this just for yourself, it's going to make such a huge difference, right? Remembering these positive moments that you had together, these special moments of that are just between you and him. This is a great way for you to get excited about your relationship again, and a fantastic way to rekindle that flame, especially if times are challenging for the two of you right now, you can go back and remember these moments more fondly. And the reason is you want to strengthen that emotional intimacy between the two of you. So if you do feel like you're very disconnected from your man right now, this is a great way to start reintroducing that back into the relationship, that emotional connection, talking about things that really bring up feelings, that bring up emotions in the two of you. And the more detail you give, the more like precise locations and helping him paint the picture with evidence and concrete things that actually happened, the more you'll really tap into his feelings and he'll really connect with you. So this is a hot tip on men, right? Men love detail. They need specific concrete evidence. So, I mean, don't go overboard. You don't want to talk too much or say too much, but you don't want to say too little. So make sure that you can really get him on board with some of the concrete facts of what happened to really reach his heartstrings. So I invite you to daydream or journal about this time when you met your man and all the wonderful things that happened, the fun times that you had together. And this is going to help that spark reignite and get you really excited about your relationship again, right? So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments what you think, and if you have any questions, if you want to share some of those wonderful moments with your husband in the early days. Like I said, I'm a huge romantic, so I would love to hear all about it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.